And as Q said, that if we knew the truth, 99% of people in the world would end up in a mental hospital.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot for us to unpack when we go through this event and darkness process. So we've got to start working on ourselves. I mean, I've never been one for meditating. I find it very hard, but just the last week, a bit more time on my hands. I'm learning the art of meditation. And there's a whole bunch of people in the collective that are expert at that and are putting out YouTube videos with different meditations now. And I'm just listening to those and starting to really connect with my higher self, because my higher self's pretty smart.
Yeah.
I'd like some direction. So, this is what we're doing. We are going from glory to glory, strength to strength, and we've got to right now work in ourselves so we can be our best selves on the other side. Because as much as we would love to say, "Mate, I told you so," that kind of attitude is not going to work. I heard one of my the guys on my Zoom call said, look, 6 months ago, I couldn't wait to say, "Told you so." Now he's at a point emotionally, it's like, I can't do that. All I can do is just give him a hug and help him through it. And that's got to be the attitude. We got to put aside the ego, put aside the I was right. And
you're stupid. Right. I know everything, and you know nothing. Yeah, you can't do that.
That's
absolutely,
right. You can't do that. So we're entering a glorious age. We are about to be a part of something so beautiful, and it's so lovely that we get to be here. At this time and participating together, and as a global community coming together, it's just, it's an absolute blessing.
Oh, absolutely. Let me ask. Well, good evening, folks. It's 7:17 here, and it is another great day in Costa Rica. I'll tell you, we got the one and only Quantum Brownie, and we are October 18th, 7:17 p.m. You know what team we're on, right? Don't forget to hit the pause button, go to Rumble. QFS1776.com is the holy grail. You might as well go there and just start devouring as much information as you can, because we're burning down the old system and we're never going back. When we burn down the old system, there's going to be nothing but ashes. Out of the ashes will rise what? The phoenix. The phoenix is the new system. It's coming. The bankers are going away. They're going kicking and scratching and punching and breaking all the tiles and burning all the furniture, but they have no choice, but they're going. The Federal Reserve of Australia is out of business. It's big news, okay? It's huge news. So don't forget to follow us on Rumble, because we don't know how things are going to end up over here, okay? T-shirts, you got to decorate yourself, right? You want people to understand. Listen, there's 0.0000006 of the world's population is still not here, okay? That means there's 165 million people involved with digital assets, and the world is about to go into quantum financial, the biggest transfer of wealth ever. It's about to happen, folks. Also, don't forget, our Telegram right down below. Join our Telegram. We got gold and silver. We got gold and silver delivered to your doorstep anywhere in the world. It's very easy. If you do it in the United States, it's like, boom, you fill out the application. They send the gold and the silver directly to your door. 33-year-old company, $7 billion in sales. They got a AAA+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. It's fantastic. If you want to buy 10,000 or 10 million or $110 million worth of XRP, XLM, XDC, I'm the guy you want to come see, because I can get you that kind of dough. I can get you as much digital asset as you want, okay? I shop where the big boys shop, all right? And I'm not saying that to brag, but we have maybe over 150, maybe close to 200 very satisfied customers. I got a lady right now. I won't tell you who she is, but it's a lady. My biggest customers, by the way, Quantum, they're all women. They got bigger cojones than the men.
Oh, yeah.
Right? 1.2 M, 1.2 million. She's gone through hell to try and get this transaction done, but she's stepping up big, because she's like, hey, I was going to buy it at 30 cents. And now, Chase and all these banks are not allowing her to do what? To get the money out of the bank. She's got to get her accountant and her attorneys involved to get the money so that it goes from point A to point B so that she could buy it. Can you imagine? It's your money, but it's not your money because it's in someone else's bank. Okay, that's why I keep telling you guys, make sure you get down below also the wallets. Make sure you get directly from our links because it'll take you directly to the manufacturer. Right? You don't want to buy some, cloned website out there. There's about, I don't know, billions and billions of dollars worth of digital assets gone missing. You know why? The hackers found out there's money to be made. Okay, so they set up clone websites. They buy these darn things. They reprogram them. Don't ask me how these guys are smart enough to run a Fortune 500 company, but they decided to do a life of crime instead. It's weird. It's wacky. I haven't talked to Quantum in a while. I always follow his stuff. I know that there's a lot of stuff. I was watching. I got a thing where I actually been watching it all day, but I get 72,000 interruptions. There's a video that I actually got on pause called "Lobster into Impersonation of Lobster and Tom College Admin." I forget what. Yeah, intro presentation. There you go. I say my eyesight's gone. That's how you know how old I am. Lobster intro presentation by Lobster Tom. Okay. It's called The Collective. Is that you?
Yeah, so Tom is somebody who's I met probably about 5 months ago, and we're doing the same thing. We're both teaching people about lobster, and he's from the Gold Coast where I am. So we've sort of combined our groups together as such. We meet together for breakfast and lunch and all kinds of things. And
interesting.
He's
I've been watching.
Pretty switched on guy.
I watched an entire 3 minutes and 11 seconds of it. And guess when I pressed the play button? This morning at 9 o'clock. It's almost 12 hours later, and I haven't been able to finish watching, but it's very interesting. I definitely want to watch it. Brother, what's going on, man? I mean, we're so close again. Here we go again. We're saying we're close. We can smell the banks are folding. Things are happening. Rome's on fire. The emperor has no clothes. It is crazy out there. What's going on in your world, brother? Fill us in.
Yeah, look, I mean, it is quite a beautiful time, a crazy time as well. So for those of us who are awake and have been preparing for the last 2.5 years, we've got ourselves set up very nicely. So as you alluded to, XRP, XLM, the assets on Lobster, gold and silver, and there's a lot of people I found in my community that have got the currencies as well. And some people have been doing this now for decades, waiting for this revaluation, waiting for this new quantum system. I mean, we go back in the old days, the QFS wasn't a thing back then. When they took down the Twin Towers, blockchain wasn't around. So now, as we come to this new system now with the quantum financial system, it's integral. It's everything. So it's sort of like you've got to understand what the QFS is and how to be a part of Lobster as being, well, I say Lobster is a particular exchange that is a portal to the Stellar blockchain. So you can actually use multiple different exchanges to do those transactions, but most people choose Lobster because it's the easiest one to use as such, I suppose. But when you look at all the other components to the QFS and to the revaluation, everything ties into these digital assets, the XRPs, the XLM. They're things that we've all got to learn. And I'll tell you now that the vast majority of people in the collective are over 50. And that's quite different to, say, the traditional crypto market where it is the young man's game and it's predominantly male. Where I would say in the collective, there'd probably be more female than male in the collective, and definitely age is over 50. So as a collective, we've got people from all over the world that are part of the collective. We are doing regular Zooms and education trainings on all things Lobster, all things QFS, but also we are looking at the bigger picture, because what we're coming to now is what they call the event. And I know that go back. When I was on Nicholas' show and your show, we talked about the event, and it's imminent. Well, it's more imminent now than it was before. But now I think we're seeing the unraveling of everything. So we can see all the stuff that was hidden is now being exposed. So, the white hats did need this time to be able to unpack everything for us in a way that the world slowly wakes up and doesn't, just lose its shit. Because the bottom line is that if people wake up too fast, then it could be uncontrolled, shall we say? But there will become a point in time where the event, as we know it, will really ramp up, and the rest of the people that aren't awake will wake up in a big way. But as a collective, what we're doing is focusing on after the event. So what we've done over the past few months is develop a number of Telegram channels that are specific to different topics for after the event. So whether that be the Awakening channel, the Humanitarian channel, we've got the Intergalactic channel for ET disclosure. So there's something like 19 different channels that people can get involved in and share information, but also to learn, because those channels are purely designed for the newly awakened to come in and get the information and find out, how the hell was I deceived all this time? Get the true information that was there all the time, but because they had the blinkers on, they couldn't see it. So now, with these channels, they're designed to give people the information they need to be able to really get the truth, and probably for the first time in their life, they're going to understand and know what is truth. So that's what that whole, for us, the collective, we've got the main chats, then we've got the sub chats, which are all topical, and then off the side we have another whole series of Telegram groups which are building and project funds. So we've got, I think it's 23 different projects that as the collective we are donating XLM and other assets in these wallets, which are all transparent. So it's all on the Stellar blockchain, and you can see all the transactions going to those wallets, and those wallets are designed to hold massive amount of money, so that when we start to rebuild the world after the event, these particular wallets have particular projects to invest in. So we'll see people coming to the collective with their projects, wanting funding. Those projects get vetted, then they go for a vote, because everyone who donates to the collective in their building funds, they get a vote on upcoming projects. So really, as a collective, what we're trying to do is rebuild the world in a way that everyone gets a say as such. So with those building funds is everything from the agricultural fund, small towns, low cost housing, veterans hand up is a big one, I think, but also to something as simple as we've got a thing called the Lismore Rebuilding Fund. And Lismore is a town that was smashed by a geostorm about 7 months ago, and it hasn't recovered. The government hasn't bothered to really help the townspeople, and we believe that as individuals we can help in a much better way than government can. So we're looking at this particular project as a test case, so if we get everything right, we can then go around the world and rebuild towns and cities. I mean, look what's happened in Florida. I heard that there was a hurricane come through Florida last year, and they haven't even recovered from that one. It's very similar to what's happening in Lismore. Governments just don't want to know about devastation. It's all lip service and photo opportunities, but there's no real work going on to rebuild lives. And really what we're finding, and what we'll find out moving forward, is that it's us, the collective, us, the ones that are working together, are the ones that will rebuild humanity. So it's the good thing about this moving forward is we now know that we're not alone. There's a lot of people out there that you're awake, and you go, gee, am I the only person that's sane in my community? Well, you're not. There's lots of people out there like that, but you then got to find people, find your tribe as such. So what we do is we have a series of local Telegram groups all around the world. So every country has a Telegram group. In the US, for example, every state, every capital city has a Telegram group. In Australia, there's like 30 different Telegram groups, and they're designed to assist people locally. So local connection, getting together, having coffee, having a connection, particularly with the Lobster wallet and learning how to do all that, but also to plan for things that
Sure.
will be coming up in the future, because we've got a whole world to rebuild, and it's gonna take time, and it's gonna take money, and it's gonna take people working collectively with a heart for God and a heart for our fellow man. This is the age of love. We're going to a whole new system.
Yeah.
So, Mel, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny you said earlier that the Zims and dinars have been around for a long time. I know people personally, my accountant, unfortunately, Teresa Curtis from over in Vegas, who passed on to the other side about 3-4 years ago. She was holding on to Zims and dinars for the longest time. She was accumulating like a drunken sailor. She had bags and bags of this stuff, and and she was completely sold. I wish she was here to see what's getting ready to happen. And I had Melanie recently from Maine, who sits on a porch in a rocking chair, and she's building an incredible following. Her and I literally did a podcast a couple of days ago. We captured lightning in a bottle. Okay, it's that awesome. I mean, me and her just clicked. I mean, it was just like immediate chemistry, And she said the dinars have already been reevaluated. They just got to make the announcement.
Public.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
so.
right.
Is XRP right behind it? Is XLM right behind it? Is XD? I believe so. I believe we're literally at the doorstep.
Like you said before, about a phoenix rising from the ashes. Really, when everything collapses, you got to collapse everything in order to start again. Q talks about 1950s pricing. Well, we'll see how that plays out. But you have to collapse everything: stock markets, housing values, crypto. It all's got to go to zero. Then the asset brought over onto Stellar, and into the XRP system, and then when you on the other side, when you revalue gold and silver, which automatically revalues XRP and XLM, then you got a base to work from. So that's why for a lot of people who are buying these what we call seized assets in Lobster, it's about positioning themselves for that wealth transference as you've been speaking of. So when you look at those 3 executive orders that Donald Trump put out, or you put out a heap, but the 3 that we see on the bonfire going and so forth. So for those who are new, just to let you understand, there are 3 executive orders that essentially allow Donald Trump and the Patriots to seize the world's wealth. That's one about crimes against humanity, one about election interference, and one about Chinese companies interfering in U.S. affairs. Those three executive orders effectively seize the world's wealth, and in the background, what we're seeing is a wealth transference where the asset value, although what we now call tokens, has been moved over onto Stellar. And we, as awake patriots, have been buying these assets for as little as 2 billion tokens for 1 XLM, which right now XLM's about 12 cents US. So we've been buying that value and buying, there's all this new infrastructure coming out for the quantum financial system. So we're buying these assets, and we have been positioning ourselves so that when everything does crash and then it revalues like a phoenix rising from the ashes, up comes gold and silver, XLM and XRP. And then we're the ones that have the wealth that we can then not go and buy Ferraris and Gucci handbags. Although, your boat will come in time, my boat will come in time, but there's a whole lot of work to be done beforehand. I would say the first 3 months is critical to get people back on their feet and start people the retraining of people's minds, retraining or rewiring or re-education. It will be massive because everything we've been taught is an absolute lie. So we've got to redo everything, and so that first 3 months, 6 months is critical to get the world on its feet. And then we can start to look at the bigger picture, which is the restructure of the schooling system, universities, medical. Everything's got to change. And I do believe it's not going to be done by governments, because governments, as we're now finding out, have never been for us. We're the ones that will lead the change, and the change will happen locally, not globally. So this is where I see, you know, I mean, in some ways, when we talk about, you know, relax and grab your popcorn, I don't like that phrase with what is said in the Q plan. Because the bottom line is that if you sit in your backside doing nothing, you're not affecting change. So we're the ones that will be affecting change now, particularly now, getting people ready for the event, but more importantly afterwards, we're the ones to be driving change, and it won't come out of ego like the old way is. You know, we have leaders and everyone's following a leader. Leaders won't be around as such. It'll be different structure. It'll be, we're all moving together collectively at the same time. So where's the leader? I don't know. You know, we're all rising together. We're all collectively working together and putting together plans. A great example is what I've been doing with, again, this project for Lismore, the city. So we've been down to Lismore on the ground, talking to the locals. You know, what are their needs right now? We had a lovely lunch and sort of met a lot of the locals. We've teamed up with a fantastic charity called Aussie Helping Arts, and we've done some brainstorming sessions on Lismore. Now we're going back down to Lismore this weekend to do an actual hands-on sort of project planning, and then a lunch. So this is the sort of stuff we're doing prior to the funds coming in. So when the funds do come, we hit the ground running. We know the projects or the little things we have to do to help get the townspeople on their feet, and then to rebuild that whole district as such. And if we get that right, if we're able to help the locals where they're at and get them on their feet, then we can take that model anywhere in the world. Because right now, I mean, just in Australia alone, we've had major flooding in Sydney and Melbourne. So that's down the southern states. We're copying it, about to cop it right now with a whole bunch of more rain. Whether that's geoengineered, probably is. You know, I can't say too much, but you know, we're the ones that are going to be affecting change moving forward, because we're the ones that are going to have the wealth and the humanitarian heart to do it right first time. And that's what it's all about.
Well, you know, you just mentioned the fact that, you know, you can go on Lobster and buy billions of assets for 12 cents. Some people might want to spend 24 cents, and you might lose your 24 cents. Are they still calling you and me a scam, by the way? I don't even know. I don't even bother. I don't even pay attention.
Look,
to somebody's bozo.
I think now, look, I mean, I think by now there's enough evidence to prove that the assets being rolled out on the Stellar network. Yes, Lobster is one of the exchanges. The assets being rolled out are legitimate. Now, yes, sure, there are. As soon as a legitimate asset is created by the white hats, then there's a whole bunch of developers creating copies of that. And that's where it gets a bit murky, in that you really need to be connected and to know what are the right assets. So you know, we follow QSI, we follow Whiplash, and we make sure that we stick to the assets, the correct domains, the QR codes and so forth, so that we get the right assets and do it right. Yeah. We have Zooms twice a week on all kinds of topics to try and keep people on track. And we've got a beginners channel, which is the main channel for the collective. Then we've got an advanced channel, and then we've got another channel which is really advanced for all the line, Elon, Stellar, and Colossal project stuff as well. So we try and provide a broad spectrum of information so people can do their own research. At the end of the day, you've got to do your own research. That's what we've been doing for the last 2.5, 3 years. You think about it. I mean, the whole concept of researching has only become apparent since the pandemic, when you knew in your gut there's something not right. And for many of us, it's the first time we've turned off the TV and we've started to do our own research. And then we then find connections with other people and find our tribe. And that's what we've been all developing over the last few years. I mean, look at what you've done, Mel. When I first met you, there was no chair for a start.
There's nothing.
But there's nothing, you know, it's just a guy with a heart trying to put a message out there. And now you got the best of people, the up and comings come to you, and they're on your channel. You look what's happening with Nicholas, and yes, you and Nicholas have been smashed by the cabal's bloody YouTube system. I'm about to reach 10,000 subscribers, so no doubt I'll get some flack pretty soon as well. But that's
as soon as you hit 10,000, you're immediately on their radar. That's the magic number.
Yeah.
At 6,000, they start slowing you down a little bit. 7,000, they start slowing you. As soon as you get to 10,000, boom, that's it. Then they got you. But the reality is, see, my argument's very simple. Okay, everybody, see, the market is alive. The market has spoken. The market says we love YouTube. We just don't like the fact that YouTube is run by the people who are running it with these different point of views, etc. You know, freaking awesome. So why don't we just take a bunch of programmers who are sitting home doing nothing, who most of them should have a vendetta against YouTube, right? Let's buy a script that's an open script that can be customizable, that looks and feels exactly like YouTube. Let's make it exactly. Let's get as many programs. Let's get a server in Russia where they won't mess with us. Okay,
right,
I'll call Putin. I'll call Putin myself. I'll put in the good word. No worries. Okay, and let's build the YouTube where people could talk freely. And I would promise you that everybody would immediately start to transition over. Why? Because they want YouTube. They don't want Rumble. If Rumble was such a sexy platform, or Brighteon, or all these different BitChute, right? Yeah. All these, if they were sexier, we wouldn't be having this conversation now, because we would have all switched over a long, long time ago. They want YouTube. That's what they want. Okay.
Yeah, we need to get YouTube in right hands, just like we know now that Yi, formerly Kanye West, is now taking or bidding for Parler. And I just today, before this call, reactivated my Parler account. Because I think, well, gee, if I can see the bigger picture now, Parler, Twitter with Elon, Truth Social, but if we can just get a hold of YouTube and turn that around and put that under complete white hat control, but I don't have a spare, $15 billion to buy, but that's okay, not yet. But at the end of the day, it's a good platform. It just annoys you when good people like yourself and Nicholas. I mean, Nicholas had a bomb of followers, and now he's reinventing and building himself up. He's taken the tie off, which is great, because I didn't like the tie.
Well, 157,000 subscribers. I watched the numbers very closely. Like I've been watching my new friend and that I'm working with right now with Unified TV, Jason Shirka. He's been stuck at 125,000. Since I met him, he was 125,000. Well, I met him when he was at 47,000, but we really didn't pay too much attention to each other. But recently we have, and in the last month, a guy like that has gone up by 2,000 whopping subscribers. He went from 125 to 127. They got him stifled, and this guy keeps his channel so clean. He's so meticulous. You know what I mean? It's pathetic. But what are we going to do? I mean, we're really in a situation where if you want change, you got to do something about it. You got to grab the bull by the horn. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you don't like, for example, Netflix, but you keep paying Netflix. Netflix is the monster that's trying to engineer your kids, engineer you. They got, all kinds of crazy stuff going on there. So if you don't like it, give your money to Unified TV. The link's right down below. Get a subscription. If you're a movie maker, if you're an independent filmmaker, let's make some positive stuff about how we could paint the picture how beautiful this planet's going to be in the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And let's paint that picture and stop giving your money to the monster. Everybody wants the monster to go away, right? Quantum. They want the monster to go away, but they keep paying the monster, and then they wake up the next morning and the monster's still there. Well, guess what? The monster's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Stop paying the monster. It's very simple. It's very simple.
It is. It is. I mean, we've got to change the way we do everything, the way we think.
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Jeff, Mike, and Sean. We just brought on board 3 new editors. They're doing a great job. They're working with my wife. My wife is doing editing as well. It's just too, this requires a team. This is too big for one or 2 people. This requires, I'm also bringing on board Robert Lewis as a producer. Kerry Watts is someone on board. We talked yesterday. She's getting ready to go next week. So we're building a team to take us to the next level. Hopefully, in the meantime, in the interim, the white hats take over and makes things a lot easier, and fix the algorithm. So put them back to where, Brownie and I can go all the way to, I don't know, 1 million subscribers. I think we're worthy at that point. At this point, we've got enough practice underneath our belt to have 1 million subscribers. What do you think?
That's right. Absolutely. I mean, we've done the hard yards. I mean, think about where we were beginning of the year, just starting out. We had no idea what we're doing, mate.
No,
we're just
winging it.
Just going forward. The big thing I've found with the collective is that every day you move forward, you're in the flow, and when you're in the flow, nothing's hard. You have challenges. You're working through. I've got 35 odd admins in the collective looking after all the channels and so forth. And it's sort of like when we have our admin meetings, the flow and the energy is just incredible. The ideas and like I can wake up at 2 in with an idea, and then by the time it's 10 o'clock, someone's done that idea in the background for me. It's that connection that you end up having when you're living and walking in the flow. Because this whole quantum, I'm still learning the whole quantum consciousness, and I mean Ishmael has been an absolute godsend. And now he has his own channel. He's doing all these beautiful little Ishmael nuggets, as I might call them, not brownie nuggets, Ishmael nuggets, but they're good. I mean, this is the kind of education that we need as a society moving forward on the other side. People are going to be putting away their phones and their computer games and their Netflix and so forth, and for the first time in their life, once we get to the other side, they'll be hungry for knowledge. Correct knowledge and information. All of a sudden, those normies I call them newly awakened on the other side. They will have such a hunger for knowledge that unified TV and all the stuff that we do will be greatly sought after, because when you have a foundation of truth, once you have truth, then you can move forward. The biggest problem we've had in society is we don't know what truth is. I mean, even right now, I can't tell you if the world is flat, round, toroidal field, or whatever. I've got no idea. But we'll know the truth afterwards. We'll be told the truth. And then once we've got that foundation of truth, then we can move forward.
Yeah, well, the last time I checked quantum, you don't have a flying saucer, because if you did, we would have had coffee together this morning, right?
Well, this is it. I mean, I am looking forward to all these new technologies coming out.
Exactly.
I've said to people, here's one for you. I've said to people that what we're about to experience is this. We're about to experience a wealth transference, and that wealth transference is boom number 1, and that's when the wealth transfers happen. XRP's gone off, silver and gold, and all that assets unlocked up. Yeehaw, beautiful. That's boom number 1. Boom number 2 is when the rest of the world, the newly awakened, see, hey, there is a fair and accurate stock market, which probably now call it a token market or an asset market. They'll see that it's fair and equitable, and that then people will be piling the money into that. That's boom number 2. Boom number 3 is going to be when all these new technologies, all these patents are released, and then we can then go, okay, well, let's form a company and build that technology, that flying vehicle technology, or this new medbed technology, whatever it is, So boom number 3 will be all the new industry being formed, and obviously a lot of companies that we know on the stock market will be repurposed to do things that are for humanity as opposed to poisoning us. So there's going to be the future is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, but we just got to get past this this next few months.
Yeah, they don't have to build anything. They already have it. The 6,000 patents, when they release that,
it's
going to catapult us. It's going to catapult us thousands of years of where we are right now. Most people are chicken brains. Are not going to be able to wrap their minds around. They're going to short circuit. They're going to have to find their nearest conspiracy theorist for instructions. That would be us.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
And so the bottom line is my wife sometimes, because I always think of something, and I'll walk my dogs, and as I'm walking my dogs, I'm talking to myself. My wife will catch me.
Yep.
Hey, you're talking to yourself as I'm practicing my next podcast. So anyway, I came up with the theory of, think about this, and I've said this in several of my podcasts lately, because this is a new content. You guys want new content? I got new content. I always make the analogy with whoever I'm talking to at the time, which this time it will be you. You and I were the guys who invented the quantum financial system in a garage, right? The most powerful monetary system to ever hit planet Earth. You think the United States government is going to say to Quantum and Mel, hey, don't worry about it. Mel, Quantum, go ahead. Go run the world. It's okay. You guys, no way. This is the reason why there's a lawsuit. I mean, people think that, the Sicilians invented gangstership. I understand a little bit of thing or two about that. I'm from Sicily, okay? Believe me, there are some people that are sort of nice people, but they're not going to take any bullshit. They're not going to allow Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse and Schwartz and Chris Larson to sail off into the sunset and become, multi-hundred trillionaires and leave, the rest of no, that's not the way the world runs. Somebody sat those boys down and said, guys, let's talk about a partnership. And there's usually a gun on the table. Al Capone said, it's always easier to negotiate. It's easier to negotiate with a gun and a smile than it is with just a smile.
Well,
all right. And that's true. Okay. So if you don't think that those things go on behind closed doors, I got a couple of bridges in Brooklyn I want to sell you.
Yeah.
You understand?
I've no doubt.
Oh, do you agree with me, or that analogy?
It's we have to remember that this is a movie, as Q would say, and in order for things to roll out, there would have to be deals made. There would have to be people replaced. We talk about clones and CGI and all that. So it's what we're seeing is an amazing script that is rolling out. Yeah, for us, and for us, it's a bit frustrating because we know the end of the movie. It's like, well, we can get to it, but we've got to do this in a way that the normies, as such, the people that are not awake, they get the nudge and go, well, gee whiz, fill the car up and it's $200 for the Land Rover. What's going on here? And oh, gee whiz, milk's up again. Gee, what's going on? So slowly people are waking up and realizing, and of course they look on the mindless TV and see the Ukraine thing and think, oh, Putin bad. That's just the narrative. It's like Trump would say, oh, it never happened under my watch. Trump's taking a back seat, letting Putin do all the work that needs to be done in order to affect this change and get rid of the cabal. So the whole idea would be that Trump will go, oh, I'm not involved with this. Gee whiz, it all fell apart, under Biden's watch.
Absolutely.
That's the whole idea to But now, as we've seen with Trump's rallies, he's starting to do the Q, and he's starting to bring that in.
He
So we're
also
all
wore
starting
one
to
on.
realize.
He also wore one on his freaking lapel, and the media went nuts
Well,
about 3-4 weeks ago.
when I speak, I've got on my suit, I've got a Punisher with the Trump hair.
Yeah.
So I talking of which, I had a brilliant time on Friday night. I hadn't done a stand-up talk for a while, so I did one in this community hall, and most of them, well, they're all awake, but probably about half didn't know about lobster. So my team of collectives were there in the crowd, and I did my presentation, Lobster 101, and then at the end it was like, okay, those who haven't got a lobster wallet, and probably about 50% of the hands went up. I said, okay, get up and stand over on that wall, and we'll shoot you. I mean, no, we'll stand over there. And then, okay, you guys sitting there here, go over there, pick someone and show them how to
Teach
do
them.
it. So for an hour, all you could see was just everyone working together, set up the
One
trust
teaching
lines,
one,
moving it.
teaching one, teaching one,
That's
teaching
what
one.
it's
That's it.
about. This is exactly how we are to work in the future. There are no leaders as such.
Absolutely.
We just work together collectively as one. And yeah, like I'm sitting there looking at all these people doing this, working together. It was beautiful, and that's the part I love about local connection, getting together with a coffee chat, meeting people, big hugs, just interaction, and it's gorgeous. It's
People don't
beautiful when
understand quantum. People don't understand the power of math. They got to choose a lane. First of all, they can say, okay, I like Emily, I like Whiplash, I like Mel, I like Quantum Brownie. That's my lane. That's what I'm going to pick. Instead of being spread out and on 999 different telegrams, getting all kinds of information, and then you wonder why you're so confused. You're listening to the
right.
wrong people, right? So you pick you pick your lane. And I always say, if one person told 10 people, and those 10 people, right, do the same, tell 10 people each, and that equation happens 9 times, you reach 1 billion people. If you do
That's
it,
right.
if you do it 10 times, you have a problem. You run out of people to wake up.
But that's how it is. It's a 100 monkeys thing. I mean, we're at a point now where there is an absolute steamroll happening right now. There's more people waking up than ever before.
Oh yeah.
But also too on the same
absolutely
thing, it's like we're at the point now where, and I was saying this off camera, we're at the point now where we need to start. Like we have our assets, we've got our food and water, we've got our generator, whatever it is, we're set for the event. Now's the time to be working on ourselves, to be making sure that we are mindful, we are ready for what is about to come. Because as awake as we are, as we think we are, we're still going to be shocked like we would not believe. And as Q said, that if we knew the truth, 99% of people in the world would end up in a mental hospital.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot for us to unpack when we go through this event and darkness process. So we've got to start working on ourselves. I mean, I've never been one for meditating. I find it very hard, but just the last week, a bit more time on my hands. I'm learning the art of meditation. And there's a whole bunch of people in the collective that are expert at that and are putting out YouTube videos with different meditations now, and I'm just listening to those and starting to really connect with my higher self, because my higher self's pretty smart.
Yeah.
I'd like some direction. So this is what we're doing. We are going from glory to glory, strength to strength, and we've got to right now work in ourselves so we can be our best selves on the other side. Because as much as we would love to say, mate, I told you so, that kind of attitude is not going to work. I heard one of my the guys on my Zoom call said, look, 6 months ago I couldn't wait to say, told you so. Now he's at a point emotionally, it's like, I can't do that. All I can do is just give them a hug and help them through it. And that's got to be the attitude. We got to put aside the ego,
Yeah.
put aside
Yeah.
the I was right, and
Yeah.
we all
You're
like to be
stupid.
right.
I know everything and you know nothing. And
Yeah,
yeah, you can't do that.
that's right.
Absolutely.
You can't do that. So
No.
so we're entering a glorious age. We are about to be a part of something so beautiful, and it's so lovely that we get to be here
Yeah.
at this time and participating together, and as a global community coming together. It's just, I mean, it's an absolute blessing.
Oh, absolutely. Let me ask you a question, point blank, Quantum. Do people in your immediate circle, meaning your family, your friends, do they still think you're nuts at this point, or are they starting to maybe come around?
Yeah, so I've got probably half the family is on lobster. I've got so my side of the family are not awake at all. Um, so I don't see them too much. But the other side, my wife's side, yeah, a lot of them are very awake with lobster wallets, and sort of appreciate what I do. Um, I have lost friends along the way because you just drift, but I found a bunch of new friends. But like for me, it's like look, I know my family's taken care of. I'm blessed that my kids allowed me to sell Chainlink at the right time to put into lobster.
Mhm.
So they're set. So and all I wanted to do was make sure that uh, my family and my friends were set, so they didn't have to ask for a hand out because they're taken care of. They've
Mhm.
taken care of themselves. But there were there were some friends that I helped get a lobster wallet early on, and they just didn't understand. I was trying to do the right thing, and their wallet still has $5 worth of assets in it. It might be worth something later on, but you know, if someone doesn't want help, you can't help them. You've got to look for those who are open and willing to help. I mean, I was on the phone with someone yesterday, called me out of the blue. It was a service call, and he asked, "How you going?" "Oh, mate, I'm fantastic." "Well, why are you fantastic?" I'm just excited about I'm excited about the collapse of the economy." And he goes, "Yeah, me too." And immediately he knew that I was awake, and we had this massive conversation. And it was the most amazing thing to talk to someone that was completely not connected at all with the collective or anything else I was doing, but you know we're at the same level, and it was beautiful. So
Yeah.
um,
What
you
is your
find your tribe.
take? What is your take on Mr. Poole?
Yeah, look, I mean, there's some really interesting comms. Well, all the stuff from him is very interesting. So it's hard. I with a lot of comms, I just read them for what they are, and don't read too much into them. In that, I know it's all going to happen. As
Yeah.
my wife says, I know what's going to happen, so you don't need to give me the detail. I know the end story.
Right.
So she's the most relaxed woman you'd ever want to meet when it comes to all of
Oh,
this.
so is my wife.
Her,
My wife is completely,
yeah,
we are
at
just like
peace.
accumulating, with this whole thing with the manipulation and the lawsuit and the Kabuki theater
Yeah,
lawsuit and everything. It's allowed us, the people that are in the know, that we're convinced.
yeah.
Nobody needs to come along to sell us. We have sold
Mm,
ourselves because we have
mm,
put in the time and put in the man hours to connect the dots and pick up every breadcrumbs and analyze everything from 99 conceivable angles. So
yeah.
we are complete. Every time we have an extra 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 bucks, we end up buying. We just bought another 25,000 XLM.
Mm,
So what are you guys doing out there? You guys that are don't want to go. You're going to lose your power. You're finished. You're going kicking and screaming and scratching, but you're going to be finished. Okay. But the more time this drags on, the richer I'm going to get. Plus, we've already figured out how we're going to live a minimum of 300 to 400 years old with Dr. Sandra Michael Rose's technology. We got all the time in
Oh,
the world.
I've just got to give you a congratulations. I hear that you're the number one distributor for the TerraCare one. That's
Yeah,
what I've heard.
we've been the number one for the last 2 months straight.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah,
I've been using the one now for about 2 weeks. And yeah, I absolutely love it. It's
it's a great
it's
product. It's
amazing
a great
technology.
product. Yeah. If you guys want, we got so much of it in stock, we can get it out. If you don't want to be a distributor, I get that. Okay. We got it right down. Just, click the link and just contact my wife and we'll send you one out anywhere in the world. Okay. Whether you want the classic or the intermediary one or the pro, we got them all. So just click the link below. We got thousands and thousands of dollars worth, literally.
Well, that's awesome because, like here in Australia, we've got to get them through Singapore. It takes 3 days.
Yeah, I'm about to actually release a second interview with Dr. Mary Jo Kane, which is epic with this device.
Good.
Which is going to go. It's going to go nuclear. And anybody who's on our team can literally extract, or anybody who's not even on our team can extract the video and run with it. You're going to make a ton of money because it is absolutely so organic and so believable, and it is. So we're about to release that hopefully here within a week, and then we're going to be doing another, which we call it, the interview with Dr. Melody, who's a chiropractor. That's the first one that we did, and that caused us to really just go crazy. So yeah, no, the device works, but we have so much. See, why all of a sudden all these, healing devices? We got to we can't use the word that starts with a C. Okay, all these healing devices are allowed to flood the market. I'll tell you why. There's 45. That's why they don't want them back. Because he's going to give you Gesara-Nesara, he's going to give you free energy technology, he's going to give you your flying saucers, he's going to give you your XRP, your XLM, he's going to give life extension technology, he's going to burn down the whole fucking thing, and I'm here with my 17 gallons of gasoline, and I'm going to help
burn it on. That's right. Amen.
So,
Amen. That's awesome.
I want to talk to you about this guy, Phil. I like Phil. You know who I'm talking about, right? Phil Godlewski. I like him. I think he's very intelligent, very serious. He puts on this whole persona. I don't know if it's an act, but the reality is, the one thing I have a problem with you, Phil, is only one thing. When somebody asked him the other day, Phil, how many people you got watching you live right now? And he just, with a straight face, he looks over. He goes, 7.4 million. I said, you son of a bitch. President Trump doesn't have 7.4 million people watching him live on a live, a rally, but Phil does. I'm sorry, I have a problem buying that number. Okay.
Look,
I know he's popular, and I like it.
Yeah, I've subscribed, unsubscribed to him. Look, to be honest, if there's 4 things I look at in the morning, it's Whiplash, QSI, Captain Cole.
Yeah, I like Captain. I gotta have him back on the show.
Captain's great. Yeah, Captain Cole and of course your channel. So I look at that through another account, shall we say? Just to keep a low profile.
Tim, I want to get Tim back on the show, but he won't even answer my calls anymore. I don't know what happened to him, bro.
Yeah, I know.
No clue.
What does Q say? The end is not for everyone. So.
Tim, if you're out there, I know you're watching my show. There's no hard feelings here. Maybe differences of opinion with certain people. I know you don't have any personal beef with me at all, 0. So you're more than welcome to come on the show anytime you want. As a matter of fact, you guys know how to get in touch with him. I have his number, I have his email address, I have his Telegram, I have it all. But I'm not going to chase him. If you guys want to chase him, because there's so many people every week. Hey, when is Tim coming back on? Hey, when is David Strait coming back on? Don't know, we're here. We just keep moving forward no matter what,
Indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Brother, it's always a pleasure. We're going to hit the pause button here. I'm going to hold you over for an extra couple of minutes. I want to talk. Awesome. I want to talk to you about what happened before I went on my vacation with my YouTube channel. I know you want to know,
yes, please.
And I got to be careful. I can't say it publicly too much because I don't want to rub it in their face. Because I say, okay, you're gone. You know what I mean? And I don't want to give them that satisfaction. So I'm gonna hit the pause button here real quick. And guys, if you listen this far, this guy's a gem. Make sure you follow him. His information is also going to be down below. Don't forget to get yourself Unified TV. Get yourself an account and spread it out there. I'm not going to be one to ask you for a donation. I don't do that. I give you value. Okay? I give you stuff that's incredibly valuable. You buy it, and that's what keeps the rain off the roofs, keeps the bills paid until D-Day. Then You're lucky if you're going to see me maybe twice a week doing 2 podcasts, because I'm probably bored out of my mind and I got nothing else to do because I got all these humanitarian projects to keep me busy with my, people say, well, what happens when, everybody's getting 6,000? Well, they'll be working for people like me and Quantum Brownie. They're going to go to a Gesara-Nesara website, and there's going to be a whole bunch of projects, humanitarian projects, and they'll pick one in their backyard, and they got to go do something for that 5,000-6,000 a month. We're not just going to hand you the money.
That's
okay?
that's about right. Be awesome. Be freaking awesome. Yeah.
So, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.
See you guys.